Set 1 done and dusted here by Elevate. Luminosity did show that they could fight back with the draft that they had, but I feel like Elevate's draft was just superior, and if they could get the execution right, they would be winning the first set, and that they did indeed. We're going to be moving on now into set 2, which is going to be Pinball Dreams on Brawl Ball here. Obviously this map tends to favor a lot of the thrower ideas, and that is why we see the Bartley double band along with the Larry, Laurie, and the Dynamite here. Gale gonna be picked up first by the side of Elevate here. Obviously a very solid idea. I feel like the Hypercharge has really brought him back into the meta, along with the secret change to his super, which did get a little bit thinner, but you do get a lot more consistent damage. So I feel like that change went a little bit unnoticed, but it does prove to be very effective for Gale right now. Nita gonna be the response here for Luminosity. Very good on close range maps, and that bear is always gonna be a nuisance, especially for someone like Gale who can't really take it out efficiently. We have the Crow coming in as well. I would have to disagree with that pick here. I don't see a place for Crow. Maybe they were anticipating something on the other side, maybe a speed idea, so you could slow it down with the slowing toxin. However, Crow is a very heist brawler, and we just had heist. So, I don't know. The Hypercharge, very mediocre. Also, the overall stats for Crow are mediocre as well, and Elevate bringing in the Frank here. The Crow is never going to be able to take out the Frank. The DPS is just too low, and RBM showed us what he could do on the Frank. So it looks like he wants a part 2 here of his story with Frank in this matchup versus Luminosity. Also, Luffy picking up the Rico here. Very solid idea. Down that mid as well. You can easily zone out that mid. Plus this map has a bunch of choke points and corners, which if you send a Rico super down those areas, it's pretty much unavoidable. Patchy going with the Colette here. I would imagine that's a direct response to the Frank. However, other than countering the Frank, again, I don't really see a place for the Colette here. I feel like Elevate got exactly what they wanted here, and Luminosity kind of picking up brawlers that are not synergizing well with each other here. Let's see how this goes though. Luminosity, again, proved that they can battle it out here against Elevate. Let's see how they can make this draft work here. Luffy already getting pushed down heavily on the HP side of things. However, that might have been on purpose. Luffy is running the Robo Retreat Star Power, which gives you a 34% speed boost as long as you are under 40% of your max HP. We have seen people do this where they purposely get damaged, they get below 40% and just stay there for the entire game. Just abuse that speed boost mechanic. So I really like that here from Luffy. RBM pushing down the left hand side. Again, he doesn't really have many favorable lanes here. Obviously he doesn't want to go against the Colette, but he will be feeding Nita a bunch of bears here. So RBM is just gonna have to be that guy that just soaks up all the damage and somehow makes space for his teammates to go and score here. We have a bit of a stalemate here down the mid. No one can really push up. No supers are being farmed here from the two important brawlers. RBM can't really use his. Cheetah won't get much value using his either. So we're just playing a waiting game right now. Waiting for someone to make the first move here. Patchy just waiting on that left hand side. I would like to see him play a little bit more aggressive. Get that super. There we go. He does get it. Pops the Hypercharge. Does get RBM there. He does cycle his super. He could have placed it down a bit earlier to get a second bear. However, he does decide to save it, which is not a bad shout either. Zeus has an opportunity down this right hand side. Keep an eye on that. RBM does get taken down. He does get a kill of his own though. Chino cleans up Zeus, but they can't really get the goal there as the respawns are coming in for Elevate. They do not have to worry about conceding here. Zeus does have a super here. RBM has the Hypercharge super, and Luffy has the Hypercharge. So a lot of utility here on the side of Elevate. They just need to get their supers and create a coordinated attack here. Chino does have the Hypercharge super, and he has swapped lanes to the Frank here. Maybe he wants to make a surprise play as soon as overtime hits, because that is where we will be going here, ladies and gentlemen. Zeus did use a super, didn't really get much value out of it. Watch out for Chino here on the left. Is he gonna... There we go. He does pop the hypercharge. Wants to maybe go in. He does miss the super. He is not running push it, so he won't be getting the guaranteed connections here. Zeus is gonna push up here. Patchy does get taken down. The slow gets connected, but it's not gonna be enough. Zeus gets a score while his teammates clean off the kills here. Pretty solid stuff from Elevate. I feel like they're playing the comp how it's meant to be played. Frank will never really be able to get into a good position unless he just walks up. And Luminosity are doing a good job at preventing that from happening. RBM now going to be pushing down the right hand side, going a lot more aggressive, does get Patchy. He's in a prime position now to super break open those walls. He does get a clean double kill. Chino though is going to be able to dissuade RBM from trying to walk up here. He does get a bit overzealous with that gadget, however he is now retreating. He does pop another gadget. Patchy, did he not see RBM go in there? Because he just got obliterated. RBM now with the hypercharge. This is looking dangerous. I imagine he's gonna pop it. There we go. He heals up. He pops it. Just runs into the enemy goal. Oh no. That is not looking good there for Luminosity. Just let him walk up. But what can you do? A Frank with hypercharge. You just gotta accept your fate at that point. Patchy does pop the super. Misses the gadget there. RBM quickly runs away from it. Luminosity does have a pretty good position here. If they can get one kill, they can start an offensive maneuver here. Charles with the super might want to go in here. Luffy is low. Zeus is low as well. He does get the slow, goes in, gets Luffy. Zeus is one shot. He is burning down there. RBM does get stunned. Zeus is one shot. This is surely a goal for Luminosity, and it is. Finally, we get to see some signs of life here from Luminosity. Chino does have the hypercharge super as well. This is looking good for them. However, Zeus on that right hand side, keep an eye on him. You can never count out a Gale with the super. He does push them back. Luffy does get a nice pass to Zeus. He does pop the hypercharge and he gets the goal. Zeus is clapping because he knows what he just did. He just won the game for his team and he just looks relaxed. But I would imagine Luminosity is feeling the complete opposite.